In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Moff Gideon for the vintage collection. So this action figure I got alongside the Mandalorian, who I reviewed previously on my channel, and also the armor as well. I got all three of those figures on clearance from GameStop about 2 years ago at this point. This isn't a figure that I was too overly excited about having for my collection. I haven't seen enough of the Mandalorian at this point to really make a judgment about who Moff Gideon is. And I still haven't really seen The Mandalorian, but I have seen enough of it at this point to, I think, make a good enough judgment about his character. And I think he's a very interesting character. I would be interested to know more about him. He seems like a great fit for the Star Wars universe, and I'm happy to have the action figure of him in my collection. I think he looks great alongside the rest of my Imperial officers. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into this package here. So, nice image of Moff Gideon himself. I believe that was the debut appearance of him in Season 1 where he cuts through the TIE Fighter. And I do know the actor who plays as him, Giancarlo Esposito, I think his name is. Very interesting guy. I know he takes part at a lot of the Comic Cons. Seems to be an actor that fans have a very high opinion of. So the Mandalorian, VC 180. And I have quite a few of these reviewed on the channel now. Vader, the Mandalorian, Fives from the 3-pack, the Moff Gideon, and I also have the armor. So let's package. Let's go and take a look at this figure. So I will say, I like the head sculpt, but I have seen some samples out there where I think it looks a lot better compared to the one I have. I think the eyes on mine are a little bit off. It's not too bad though, judging from other samples I have seen and the more recent rescue set Moff Gideon. I think there are better ones out there from the one I have. But it's a really good head sculpt. Just needs a little work on that paint. And nice armor. I really like his armor design. Kind of reminds me of a TIE Fighter pilot a little bit. Some nice reds and blacks in it. And of course black pants and black boots. And he does have a plastic cape, which it's kind of awkward how it's on there for him. It's just plugged into his back. And you have to be kind of careful about how you articulate his arms, otherwise it might potentially push that cape off. The rescue set does have a soft goods cape. Not sure if it's a better design compared to this plastic one here, but I imagine soft goods most of the time ends up being better than plastic. So in terms of the articulation, he does have a double joint at the head there. Good range of motion. He has hinged shoulders, and the shoulder armor he has here is flexible enough to where you can raise his arm up like that. Does have hinged elbows, which go past 90 degrees, and that's nice. And he does have hinged wrists, and looks like, yeah, this one goes up and down, and this one goes up and down as well, so they both have the same motion. Does have a joint at the torso, and he does have hinged hips, which has okay flexibility. He's a little bit restricted because of his comma there. Well, I'm not too bothered by that. And he does have a swivel thigh, and he does have hinged knees and rocker ankles. The tooling on this action figure is a little awkward. As you can see by his stance there, his legs kind of bow out a little bit, and that's how it was when I got it. Not sure if all samples are that way, but at least for mine it is, and kind of gives them an awkward stance. So in terms of the weapons and accessories, probably the most famous accessory from recent years in the TVC line, and that's the Darksaber. And this is a realistic interpretation of it. So it has a little bit of a white paint on the edges there to give it a little bit of that glow to it, like we see in the series. And he has a black hilt. It's a very thin blade. I just happen to have the original Clone Wars Darksaber here from pre-Vizsla to do a side-by-side comparison. And the original is a lot more translucent compared to this one. And it also has a gray hilt. So you can see there. So interesting comparison between the two. And an additional weapon he has is this blaster pistol he has in his holster there. Which is a very small accessory. It does fit great in his hand there, and his finger goes around the trigger. And it also fits good inside of his holster. And before we wrap up the review, just do a couple comparisons. Here's Moff Gideon with one of his main rivals, Bo-Katan. And also showing off the Darksaber with the Clone Wars pre-Vizsla there. So would I recommend Moff Gideon for your collection? I definitely would. I think he's an interesting character. It's a great villain to have. Like I said, I think he fits very well with my Imperial officers, so if you have a large officer collection, he's a perfect fit. Would I recommend this one over the rescue set or even the carbonized version? I suppose whichever you find cheaper. Like I said, I think the paint on mine's a little bit blotchy. Just compare a couple samples out there and you might be able to find one that you really like. So that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future. There will be plenty more to come. And if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate your support. Check out some of the links in the description as well. And thanks for watching.